want to let you guys know that I listened to the program yesterday, and it was quite interesting. I thought that the gentleman who called and speak about the puppy day, he gave me an inspiration to speak on something that is interesting. And like I said some time ago, both you will become the mega of talk show radio once Jews, and I know Jews will give you enough time to develop for a thing, because radio is about consistency and giving the workers time to develop, and I know that is going to happen in terms of making you what you propose to be in the not too distant future.
Oh, we appreciate hearing that. You just jump right in before we could say thanks. All right, Kingsley.
Yeah, but I will tell you something. I don't know how much you know about this person that we call Glenn Jackson. He was once the former Prime Minister's press secretary, and he's the person who did responsible for Pioneer Talk Radio. So what you hear in St. Vincent and Grenady started at WEFM with Glenn Jackson. So WEFM have a legacy of talk radio in St. Vincent. And when I mentioned Glenn Jackson, I mentioned Jules Williams, I mentioned Susan DeFreitas Williams, I mentioned Keith Joseph, Fair Keys, and just a few persons, because what I normally do every year, I go to the Sorted newspaper, and she provided the platform for me to write an article about Glenn Jackson, because I was one of Glenn Jackson's friend. I consider him my friend. I didn't know if he did the same for me, but we had a good relationship because of what he started at WEFM. And when I hear that gentleman called yesterday and spoke about the importance of the guys who served in the army in the past, it reminds me of Glenn Jackson when I hear people call and say how important radio is. And I hear, I was a bit disappointed in his presentation yesterday. But that is Dave Roberts overtime. He gets from bad to worse. But he was one of the persons who used to do a program called NDP.com. So Dave had some sort of record, but over time Dave has become what is an obsession. He has an obsession with Ralph Gonsalves. So everything he said these days doesn't make any sense. But beside that, I am hoping that listeners will continue to support you guys on the morning program and make this program number one, because hey, it will take time, and once you have the perseverance and strength, we are firm will persevere to become the number one. Because let me tell you something, the legacy is there. Glenn Jackson started talk radio at WEFM. So what you hear in some people hit when they miss some boom and some say this, it started at WEFM with Glenn Jackson. I don't know if you may recall to Rajit may tell you, we had a morning program called Double Dose with Honest to Cook and Denny. It started at the WEFM. So WEFM has created a legacy for talk radio. And I will tell you, one of the persons who did justice to Shake Up program when Glenn Jackson left us was Hans King. Hans King is also a former Prime Minister's press secretary, and he did an extremely good job when he started the program. I had my rivalry with him because he used to call me backward, but I never mind that. But I used to get my chance to speak with him. I know of a particular caller in Liu, Mr. Mason will tell you, he used to put on his pot when he hear Kingsley DeFreitas call Glenn Jackson or call Hans King, because he knew that there would be friendly, robust rivalry. And that is because of what Glenn Jackson started. So I'm just hoping that the listeners will pay attention to WEFM. And there's no doubt they are gravitating to the morning program with the two beautiful young ladies. And I'm hoping that they will give you all the support so you can build a program. So them people who say they're hot, they will soon run cold. Them people who say they're booming, all the airs will come to WEFM and morning. I'm making this plea this morning for persons to show you guys all your support. Like I say, enjoy this program. So have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow, okay?
All right, no problem, Kingsley. All right, thank you for that. All right. There is one thing that I will say. Yeah, I know I would say it's not WEFM, but anyway. The essence, you were probably too young to remember what Shake Up was with Glenn Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember Glenn Jackson, but not from Shake Up. Yeah.
Okay. the essence of what shakeup was then and what it is now, it's not the same. And what it is that I had appreciated when it was, when, as Kingsley said, it was started with Glenn Jackson, is the bringing of issues of national importance. Because I always remember that there was a time that I think somebody had called in about a Syrian store and saying that they weren't being paid or weren't being fairly treated or whatever it was. And Glenn called the store on air. Right? He called the store on air, and the person realized that they were live. So, they had to sort of answer in a particular kind of way. And I think sometimes maybe having a program that sort of looks out for the citizens in terms of them bringing issues to the attention of whoever is hosting or whoever is moderating the program, and seeking redress maybe at that point in time or even subsequently. I think that is probably like one of the things that is missing from radio on a whole, right? If I have to think back on how shake-up was back in the day. But Kingsley just brought that to my mind. So that's just me thinking very much out loud with regards to that particular topic. But All right.
Then, alrighty then. I just need to mention, I've been seeing a lot of yachts lately. Yeah, I just look outside and see two and realize that in recent days, I've been seeing quite a bit of them across this region. I haven't been seeing them for a while. So, yeah.
What I need to see back is the mega yachts when they had, when the oligarchs were fleeing.
They took a different route.
They took a different route and they were coming across it. And I still remember the Black Pearl. If you Google it, there is a yacht called the Black Pearl, which was supreme. When I looked at that was so supreme, so elegant. But I think many of them are in the Grenadines anyway, so they ain't really passing across our side.
Black Pearl, that is not the name. I know that's the name of the ship in Pirates of the Caribbean.
I'm sure it's Black Pearl.
I know that, man. But looking, yacht does stress me. Look at that. Yes, that is that to say.
That is it, the Black Pearl. Right. So anyway, wow. You can Google it yourself, folks. But it was a very impressive ship that I saw passing through our waters at one point, and absolutely lovely. All righty, let's get into our topic. Look good. All right.
Okay then. So headed into our topic this morning. Hold on. So we know about the ship that is in Kingstown, the car boat that was damaged, and as a result, the cruise ship that was to visit us for the one single time for the cruise season did not get to dock. But I mean, things happen. But here is an explanation, right? So it's called the Splendid. It's either called the Ace or it's called the Splendid Ace, okay? But it remains stranded at Kingstown, having sustained a significant hole in the forward hull while attempting to dock at the cruise ship berth. So while it was attempting to dock at the cruise ship berth on the day it was supposed to dock, it got a damage to its forward hull. All the boat people will know what that means. I don't know what that means, okay? So the SVG port, we did say that the SVG Port Authority released a statement that said that it got a breach just above the waterline and it poses multiple operational challenges and needs a comprehensive professional assessment of the damage before its secure removal from the current location. So for those who are wondering why it ain't gone yet, why they're not moving it, it's because they need to get a professional. I mean, we are dealing with safety here. It is a cargo ship. These men are driving on the sea. There is no, the backup plan. So, did I say sea water and no back though? There's nothing to hold on to in the sea. If you get into an issue on land, you could probably come out the vehicle and call some people and stand up by the roadside and open the front thing name again. It does raise up in the front with that name again. Really, yes, that. You raise that up and you check. The seawater is a different thing, right? You got to make sure that all is well before they set sail again. So they need a professional to come in and make assessments before they can leave the ports, all right? So they did not say what struck the vessel that caused it to get the damage. They don't know, probably not as yet, but they didn't say what it is. However, they did perform a dive to guarantee that nothing nothing can come into contact with the ship's hull. All right. So.
Yeah. All right. So, and one of the other things to why it can't leave is because if there's damage to the hull, it can also take on water.
Yeah.
All right. So that is also a safety measure, a precautionary measure that is being taken. So up to yesterday, when I was in town, I noticed that the boat was still there. I kind of chuckled because I really am. I want for the boat to be fixed, yes, and I also want for us to be able to not have another situation like what occurred on Sunday. All right. Again, as well, too, as I mentioned yesterday, it really would be interesting to know. Yes, we understand as Vincentians, as nationals, what has happened or what has caused or the reason why the boat is docked at the cruise ship terminal. We understand what is happening, but we also do not want for a situation like this to occur again. And as I said yesterday, I really do hope that other plans or thoughts would be put into place so that even if, and even saying it, yes, I'm looking at the benefits being St. Vincent and the Grenadines benefiting as a whole, but I know that what is offered here on St. Vincent, the tourism offering is a bit different from what is offered in the Grenadines. And for persons who are coming, they may have their eyes set or their goals set or their expectations set on what is offered here on St. Vincent, as opposed to what is in the Grenadines. So even though I said yesterday that if they can't come here, they can go to the Grenadines, the thing also is that it's a different tourism offering that's in the Grenadines. So, but we would have to wait and see what happens, and hopefully that this situation doesn't recur. So
yeah, I'm confident. I've got faith in you, Tourism Authority and Port Authority. Okay, so let's see the good that's gonna come out of this. All right, so moving on. Next story. And then not so good news. A woman steals from a store 5 times in 8 days. So a 20-year-old woman from Glen has been given 1 month to pay a gas station $234 EC dollars, which represents the value of the things that she stole on 5 days in last month. All right, so her theft spree was broken after one of the store's employees asked the manager to review some camera footage after he heard something fall just before she left the store. The footage revealed that she, who works at a Syrian store in Kingstown, had stolen from the gas station on October 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 29th.
So like some lots of numbers, to be honest. You know what? And quick that the numbers don't make no sense. Those are some lucky numbers for somebody too.
So if you want to hear those numbers again, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 29. Okay. So for you numbers people, you're welcome. So on October 21st, she stole something that was valued at $53.75. All you see, I'm quoting here. Then something that is $53.75. Then on the 22nd, something that was $41.25. Then on the 23rd, something that was $42. And then on the 24th, something that was $47. Oh no, on October 29th, something that was worth $47. Okay, so let's see. I'm just trying to get the necessary thing for you. So after they heard something fall on the floor, they reviewed their cameras, and the camera footage is what they used to realize that this woman had stolen from this particular store. All right.
All right. So one of the things that I have to chuckle with this article is the things that she stole, and amongst them, almost like chief amongst them, every day was both Toasty Water and Bickle's Patty, right? Wow. So she, sometimes you read these things and you still have to find other things to be amused, even though you're annoyed. You're still, but the thing of it is that it's the second story of theft that we are speaking about within the space of 2 weeks. And yes, that persons are saying that she, again in the comment section, persons are saying that she stole food items, so she must have been hungry, etc., etc. Listen again, folks. Stealing is not a justification for whatever it is that you're going through.
Correct.
Also, you're taking luck and make chance, right? Because you go into a particular store every day, at least 4 consecutive days, right? You're going to the store 4 consecutive days. You may not have even pretended to cash a particular item, and you are walking out to the people them, so they are going to become suspicious. You know, so I mean, it's like I kind of like when people do silly things,
So
you
you
know,
get caught.
so that they can get caught. But it's like sometimes I don't think that people use enough common sense when I read some of these stories, right? Now, this is not to say use more sense and then steal better. I am not saying that at all, right? But I do like when I come across these type of stories because I am there saying that how silly could you have been? You know, how silly could you have been? So, you know, the thing of it is that yes, persons are stealing. Yes, I recognize that it's not always easy for many persons, depending on where you work and the salary that you are making, but there are still things that you can do that do not involve robbing. Maybe I shouldn't use the word robbing, but depriving somebody else of their own property. All right. Because look at it, at the end of the day, you've made the news, right? Your name is there, your face is there. There are many employers, whenever they're looking to hire somebody, all they do is a quick Google search.
Yep.
They put your name in that search
Yep.
bar and your name comes up. And then this is something that is going to potentially stain your employment opportunities with somebody else. So stop and think, people. Stop and think. You know, yes, it is that you might not be able to afford certain things. Many times our village shops and our village supermarkets would allow you to trust items. Now, you had to trust and pay. All right. You can't just be trusting indefinitely, but trust and pay. So there are still ways in which if you are experiencing difficult times, that there are ways, especially if you're being honest about it, that persons can come to your assistance. But depriving somebody else of their property or of their things, even if it's a supermarket in this case, nah. Y'all can't be doing this. Y'all should not be doing this. All right.
Correct. And there's always the one excuse that people say times are hard. Listen, times are hard. For everybody is in the same storm, right? Not everyone is doing the same thing. So it really is a mentality thing. And I understand, trust me, I born and grew in poverty. So I understand what it is like when you don't have and you really need, especially when it is food. I've cried before because I didn't have things to eat. But me never say, boy, me go thief, nothing, no way. Because you have to sit and think about the consequences of your actions, right? So I feel it's a mentality thing and we just need to find something else. I don't know, ball if you have to ball. And I know some people don't like to beg and ask, but I would tell you to beg somebody or ask somebody before you go and thief. Okay,
Yeah, ask somebody who you trust. You know, I mean, the thing of it is that your reputation would determine whether or not persons trust you or if they believe in you, right?
Yes.
So if I find myself in a difficult spot, I can go to friends and ask them, could you tide me over for a particular time because of the fact that I'm going to pay them back. They know that I'm going to pay them back. You know, so it's also about a reputation as well. If you're constantly scamming people, then nobody's going to trust you. Nobody's going to help you out, you know? So it's also about reputation as well. But to make the news with regards to something like this, I hear you're making the news for $200 and something. Right? $200 and something. So
and with that, we're gonna leave this we don't want it to be the new norm, George. We gotta work on it. But we're gonna leave our talk segment at this time. It is 8:04 and this time check has been brought to you by the New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life.